on my mind. Got money on my move, bitch. Get out the way, don't fuck up my wave. I'm just trying to get paid. Stomach is grumbling, I'm hungry for more. Ski mask strap got me looting your store. Rapping East Coast, shout out the woodies. Grinding for pockets, it's fatter than Moni. Going LeBron and that pay for that money. Oh wait, I'm younger, it's more like I'm Brody. You can't knock my fucking hustle. I will never stumble. Your knees buckle, you crumble. Don't you try to pop my bubble. For the bag, I never fumble. Cause all my life I didn't struggle. Hustle time, all about the Gouda. Move, bitch, old school looter. Hustle time, stacking up bread. I don't give a shit, I'm just trying to get fed. Hustle time, watch it shoot up. Move bricks, gotta get my loot up. Hustle time, yo, when I'm dead, I don't give a shit, I'm just trying to get fed. Gotta get bread, gotta get bread, gotta get bread, gotta get bread, gotta get it. Gotta get bread, gotta get bread, gotta get bread, gotta get bread, gotta get it. Gotta get bread, gotta get bread, gotta get bread, gotta get bread, gotta get it. Gotta get bread, gotta get bread, gotta get bread, gotta get bread, gotta get it. Doggy dog world, wear a blood so shirt. If dollars make sense, I'ma need that work. Sell a drug, sell your hoe, sell your love, sell your soul, sell it up, sell it low. From a thug, from a Joe, amateur or pro, off a dough. This is the real, this is too real. Give a fuck how you feel, kill for a living. Won't make you kill it, that is silly. What do you want? What is your need? Know it's your purpose, everyday hustle, everyday hustle, everyday working. Hustle time, all about the Gouda. Move, bitch, old school looter. Hustle time, stacking up bread. I don't give a shit, I'm just trying to get fed. Hustle time, watch it shoot up. Move bricks, gotta get my loot up. Hustle time, done when I'm dead. I don't give a shit, I'm just trying to get fed. Gotta get bread, gotta get bread, gotta get bread, gotta get bread, gotta get it. Gotta get bread, gotta get bread, gotta get bread, gotta get bread, gotta get it. Gotta get bread, gotta get bread, gotta get bread, gotta get bread, gotta get it. Gotta get bread, gotta get bread, gotta get bread, gotta get bread, gotta get it. Hustlers every day. What is your element? Because with experience, winning decisive. We turn to violence, and that shit is serious. Pockets of praise, get a scream, but that envy you watching your back. Cause the haters are plenty, the riches don't share, and that shit is sad. We hurting ourselves and each other for bags. Going to hood, you still see cause it crack. Money the modi, no matter the act. I am just speaking some facts on the track. If we need help, then why don't we collect? Money has to say, money opens the legs, money keeps us fed, yeah. But money don't stay with the hustle and death. Hustle time, all about the Gouda. Move, bitch, old school looter. Hustle time, stacking up bread. I don't give a shit, I'm just trying to get fed. Hustle time, watch it shoot up. Move bricks, gotta get my loot up. Hustle time, done when I'm dead. I don't give a shit, I'm just trying to get fed. Gotta get bread, gotta get bread, gotta get bread, gotta get bread, gotta get it. Gotta get bread, gotta get bread, gotta get bread, gotta get bread, gotta get it. Gotta get bread, gotta get bread, gotta get bread, gotta get bread, gotta get it. Gotta get bread, gotta get bread, gotta get bread, gotta get bread, gotta get it. Gotta get it. Yeah. Gotta get it. I'm talking Scrooge McDuck type shit. Gotta get it. Swimming in residuals. Gotta get it. Fuck you, pay me. Gotta get it.
Fuck that shit. Can't, nigga.
Yo, man, like, the funny thing about tax season is, them niggas forgot they already got a portion of that shit already. That's what they gonna forget, man. That's what they really gonna forget, man. Let me turn this sound off. What's good, y'all? How's everybody doing?
I want to take a trip. Nigga, trip this, nigga. They got fucking bullshit houses, starter homes for fucking $700,000 now, nigga. Where the fuck you going? So fuck out of here, nigga. Fuck. I can't, my nigga.
Louisiana, here we come, man. We're gonna see y'all in a couple of weeks.
Bitch paid fucking $700,000 for a 3-bedroom, 1 bath, nigga. We'll fix her up. Fuck out of here, nigga.
Oh man, you know what it is? I had a conversation with someone and I forgot who it was, but we were talking about the situation as far as, you know, with good credit you could get a better deal when it comes to a house, and the person's like, that's not true. And shout out to my man H. Johnson. My man said, "Are you crazy?" He said, "I'll pay." He said, "If my rent is $1,000 for an apartment, I'll pay $1,200 for my own fucking house."
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it just makes way more sense. If I'm gonna go broke, or if I'm getting fucked without Vaseline, I'm gonna get fucked Vaseline for a house, not for an apartment that someone else is renting out or continuously making hella money on, man. Can't do that. Oh man. What's good? How's everybody doing? Welcome to another edition of A Better Man. True Vibe TV's own show. We're dedicated to the betterment of men. We do not bash. We not do none of that stuff. But it's all about us. Sorry. All right. Hold on sometime.
What's the matter?
I'm looking at the. Oh, that's just me.
What happened?
All right. I'm looking at the video. I'm like, all right, it's clear.
It's moving. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just fine. It was just Jackson.
I have issues. Sorry. And what's this saying? This is acting.
The transmission stream isn't enough.
Well, upload it later. What's good, y'all? How's everybody doing? I am Truth. Cross the tape for me is the plug, a.k.a. Jeff Shiz, a.k.a. Mr. Socks. How was your week, man? How's everything going?
It was all right, man. No big complaints on my end. You know, everybody making it through, helping other people. It's a chore, but I was good. I was good, man. I made it through the week. Hopefully, I make it through next week. That's it. I might have to use some vacation time. Yeah, we in March. Fucking Tuesday is March.
Yes, it is, nigga.
Oh, fuck that. Yeah, I gotta use some of my days off, nigga. I gotta get the fuck
Yes,
out of Dodge.
it is. I don't know. I got 4 weeks I got to use before June because my year, my company starts in July. That's the
Okay.
first. So
Okay.
I got time. So I'm gonna be traveling to an undisclosed spot, and then I'll be hitting some other places.
I don't blame you.
Oh man, we're gonna have some fun, man.
I don't blame you.
All right, so we're gonna get in here. We're gonna get out of here. I am exhausted. Ah, man. My week was good. I thought it'd be harder. I went back hardcore. No more alcohol till June.
Oh, okay, cool.
So it was cool. I went and met my boy at this spot on Monday. Real nice seafood spot out there in Burgerfield. Shout out to DJ KP. He was on there doing his thing, and it was so different. When you change locations, you start to see things you normally never seen before.
Okay.
So it was filled with beautiful people, men and women. Music was beautiful. Place is huge, man. And I met my dude there. Shout out to Elijah. Shout out to E. And he's there. I told him, he told me he'll be there. He was there, so I was fucking with him. He was talking to these young ladies. And, these young ladies are asking, hey, would you like a drink and this and that? I'm like, first of all, you're offering to buy me a drink. I'm ready to pass out, just something that just don't happen. But it just go to show, like, you look at different situations, different people, like these are grown people.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, they're literally sitting there, everyone's taking a turn buying rounds, and it's just not just the fellas. Shout out to that hookah girl. Lord have mercy, nigga.
Good time.
Boy. And there was a dude, we was about to rock, too. He got this little Spanish young lady working with him.
Okay.
Now. And I'm like, nigga, now you doing it. Because niggas want to speak to that.
You have a problem? Yeah. Ain't no cheese on it.
Yeah, it's just like, Lord have mercy, that was scrumptious. But it was cool. Went out, did that. Again, gym's getting stronger, knees getting stronger. More fun. Shout out to everybody who competed in the Open this Friday. Those you who are and aren't familiar with the CrossFit world, the Open is when everyone does a specific workout that drops, and you are judged with everyone across the world as far as how well you do, and those are the people that are invited to the CrossFit Games.
That's what's up.
And it was crazy because I follow Tui, who's the number one female. She's won it like 4 years in a row, and I think she did like 11 or 12 sets. And it's crazy how you look at that, and the guy who's at our gym is one of the monsters, only did 5.
Wow.
So it just really, go to show, because those people do that. They like your best friend Sean, they dedicate their life to that shit. Man.
That's a career, homie.
Yeah,
they don't do nothing else.
They don't do nothing else but prepare.
Eat, sleep,
and
gym.
She was in the Winter Olympics, bobsledding, and all kinds of stuff.
Up.
So
Okay.
she's like all year round.
Yeah.
So shout out to everybody who participated. You didn't have to, qualify, whatever, but it was just a great opportunity to kind of like pair yourself up against everyone else across the world, or in even everyone in your gym. The workout was 3 wall walks, 15 box jumps, and I think it was 10 dumbbell snatches.
Okay.
You had to do as many as you can in 15 minutes.
Okay.
So shout out to everybody there who did that. It was fun. I almost died Saturday, but fuck y'all. But
You know how I feel, nigga. Fuck out here.
had to run 2 miles, nigga.
Oh yeah.
200 meters at a time.
Yeah. That shit add up. That you need to.
Overhead squats. It was just painful.
Yeah, that shit hurt.
Yeah, it is. All right, so what we do here, we always go over what's going on and what's going on. What's good, Butterfly? How you doing, young lady? Thanks
What's
for
up,
tuning
Butterfly?
in. How did little man do on his
The game.
game yesterday? Let me know. I heard he dropped 30. Let us know how he doing. But we always start out with information as far as what's going on with COVID, what's going on with the finances, and then I was running late. Sorry, got off work late and then had to drop my son off. So I wasn't able to upload photos. But today I want to go over, the single parent thing. It's more lines. Maybe people may take it single mothers versus single fathers, but I really want to break it down because I don't think single fathers get as much credit as they should be getting, especially when these women out here are, and I ain't got no disrespect to nobody, but I'm saying like when we're talking about I'm the greatest single mother in the world and you're getting help.
Yeah.
So again, I want to go over some statistics, and I really want to bring it home as far as how it is, and especially when it comes to different cultures and stuff. But what information you got for us to plug? I know I could be wrong, but I know the mask ban is being lifted soon, March 7th.
Come March, I believe 8th or 7th, one of the two. Our good Governor Murphy is supposed to speak on it, and he should be lifting the indoor mask mandate as far as certain buildings. So I think you'll still need it in like hospitals, but like when it comes to certain schools, bars, et cetera, whatever they're going to deem it to, it's going to be lifted. This goes with what I was saying a long time ago. We're slowly starting to roll out of this. They ain't say nothing about COVID going down. You ain't hear nothing about COVID on the news.
Nope.
Ain't nobody counting except for about 3 people somewhere else. All it is about the war now. And COVID was, such the worst killer. Omicron was the one cutting you up. You know what I'm saying? We couldn't do shit without it. Had to go back to a re-lockdown. And now, they're not even talking about getting everybody another booster. They're talking about a 4th booster, 3rd booster, but it's real quiet. Quiet is kept. If you ask me, my opinion, I think by summertime, they're going to start to remove all of that. It's going to get hot. They're going to push that marijuana agenda that they started up before, and they're going to have you motherfuckers out here smoking. You can't smoke with a mask on. So they're going to have you out here smoking, getting paid off of that, having the CVS pushing their pharmaceuticals through there, and try to make, everybody come through. It's going to be a wild time. You can get kicked out of your rent, out of your house now.
Yes.
March signals a new month. Be aware. There are programs. Again, check NewJersey.gov. Check for your county. There are programs still there to help you pay for your rent. There's stuff still pending. If you didn't do anything, it's on you at this point in time. People have said it. Certain counties have passed out flyers. In fact, our county even passed out flyers. I think we're a bougie county at some points. We have done that. It's all been over the internet. It's been everywhere. The news. If you're looking at the news, the internet, Facebook, wherever, you had more than enough time to seek help if you were eligible for it. There are people coming up here seeking help, trying to get into these apartments. I don't know why you haven't tried at least. There's no way you should owe over a year now. They should be paying back enough now, as far as you being jobless or you're underpaid, unemployed, underemployed as they say. That means you don't make enough to cover what it is. You may have to adjust your lifestyle, homie. I'm sorry. Get rid of your car. You got to trade back in that new Lexus you had. You know what I mean? All right, what I got to do? I'll take the hit, but you
Go ahead and get that Toyota, nigga.
go get that $500 hoopty. That shit start up, poop putt, and you get the back and forth to work, and you can stop. That's it. And you got heat if you need it. It's cold. But I'm just saying, like, a lot of y'all didn't reevaluate your circumstances, and you will pay the piper. You will pay the piper. Damn shame, bro.
So Butterfly said, well, I guess Jeff wasn't with Truth. I guess she's talking about the gym, laughing my ass off. She was saying they lost. Sorry to hear that. She was saying COVID is on the news at 11 p.m. She was saying, so I could buy a house in March.
You can buy, yeah. I'm gonna be honest. So here's the deal with what's going on. The feds have not lowered the interest rate, meaning, in a nutshell, the housing prices are still through the roof. You can catch a low interest loan now because it's standard because the interest rate is so low, but the price for the house is through the roof. You can buy a house, go ahead. If you don't make $160,000 a year, I don't know what area you buying. If you're gonna buy somewhere cheap or a fixer upper or something, if you get it for a great price, now is the time to go for it. No problem. You get it. Somebody else is on it. Buy the land. Buy the property. I'm just saying for people like me, I don't need a fixer upper. Like, I got to build the whole basement before I can live in it. Whatever the case is, if you can get it now, the interest rate is low, but the prices are really high. It's a seller's market. Go for it, though. If you can get it, go for it. They haven't started selling a lot of those places that our grandparents have died. You know, all the people who died from COVID, allegedly. I don't know if they did or not.
Wink,
whatever.
wink,
Yeah,
wink.
exactly. I was like, look, if you took out this many motherfuckers, did we sell their property already? Or I don't know. What's up? These people got to go.
We're just talking before the show. You're saying that even these apartment complexes are now asking for tax return receipts.
Dude, they asked for 2 years of taxes. 2 years. They want to know how much you got paid, where you working at, how long you worked with the company. To me, they're asking for all this stuff. This is stuff you will present for a mortgage. You know, they're asking about what other assets you have. Why do you need to know whatever other assets I have if I'm only renting? Can I afford this rent? Yes. Is my credit good? Yes. Cool. You get what I'm saying? You don't need to know. I filed for extra money there. Now, taxes, I get it. That shows definitely how much you bring in. That's how much you're being taxed for. This is how much it is. We know you make 50, 60, 70, 80, whatever it is, a year. Cool. Good way to go. And I don't mean I would really want to show you my returns because you could have got that from my pay stub if it's the same place I'm still working at or if I could put the money down. A lot of these places are being bamboozled, and they do not want these people back. Hence, they have raised prices. This goes back to what we've been saying for the past 2 years. We are being priced out of our area. Same thing with you, Butterfly. You're being priced out of your area.
Especially there, yeah.
North going to look real pretty in the next 5 to 7 years.
It's going to look like the new Brooklyn.
I ain't going to be able to see a nigga nowhere near it. I'll be like, oh, man, I just passed the bridge. That's the last time I saw a black person. That's it. It's going to be real pretty. So just pay attention. Pay attention to this stuff, man. If you can get ahead on it, this year is a game changer. You know, with the stock market being down, invest in something while it's low. Make sure it's something maybe that you know is going to be a short thing. The company is going to be around. Google, Apple, Walmart, Target. Those are companies that ain't going nowhere through any of this. You know, long-term investments, whatever it is. Make sure it's a good investment, you know. If you're looking to put some money away, get ahead for the future. We don't know what's going to happen, man. They say all the banks have said it's a power shift, a financial wealth shift. Rich getting richer, poor getting poorer, middle class is splitting between the two sides.
So before you would consider middle class making 45, 50, now you're broke.
You poor.
Yeah, you poor now.
You are poor. You are check to check, homie. And that is no fucking joke. You are check to check. Like, so side hustle up, whatever you got to do. You can get ahead when this housing bubble pops, meaning the interest rate will go up and the prices on the houses will go down. Be ready for that.
It's all about proper budgeting. Also, we got to
That
do a show
too.
about that next week. Like you really got to learn how to budget, man. Like stop. Like they were saying, like you can go saving, going broke to be rich, type shit. You know what I mean? It's a video. I'm gonna make sure I download it, and I'm gonna play it for y'all next week. This young lady breaks it down perfect. She truly does.
Yeah, man. Be mindful of what's going on, people.
What about New York? Do you hear anything about New York lifting the vaccine ban for restaurants? I'm trying to go to BBQs.
That's the thing. With that new governor they got, they trying to stand hard. And I say new governor. The new mayor.
You fighting them?
Good old, Eric Adams. He is trying to get rid of that because he needs business to come back to New York. I can't knock the man.
Well, he came from a borough president, so like this man saw firsthand being, I think it was the Brooklyn borough president.
All the
So he was
shut
firsthand
down.
seeing how all the stores are getting affected, and that's a lot of, Brooklyn is full of a lot of people who may not be documented. And not being able to, go walk into a restaurant and, these people don't want to go in there because they don't know what they're going to walk into. So you're not bringing as much money in.
Well, let's not even make it about documented, because they're not rich people. So they're check the checkers, like even the documented people over there. There's some nice $1 million brownstones in Brooklyn.
You ain't fucking
Don't get it
lying.
twisted.
Not lying.
Don't get it twisted. There's some nice ones, but the rest of them fools be able to check the check. In New York City, you can get away with a lot of stuff that you can't get away with here.
You ain't lying.
Bump it. Even in New York State, in the city, you can get away with a lot of stuff that you can't get with it when you go up to Rockland County.
Oh, hell no.
I'm just saying, and you 15 minutes away. You just crossed the bridge,
Yep.
went right into the state part. You just got out of the boroughs. You ain't really going nowhere. As far as documentation, how you live, housing codes, doing stuff, there's certain things that you can't do, pricing and stuff like that. For example, you guys sublease a lot, and you take that. And you take that for identification, meaning you could take, here's my cable bill, here's my Optimum bill that says I own the cable at 138 Jefferson in Brooklyn, and put kids in school off of that. You can't do that shit nowhere else in the tri-state area. They need to see a lease, official lease, no sublease. So when it comes to these rules, I say all this to say, when it comes to these rules and regulations are different towards it. So what they doing in the city won't hold in the state. So Eric is fighting with, I forget her name, excuse me, the female governor about what's going on, because they both have two different interests and two different ways of looking at stuff. We have to be mindful. New York is going to be a clusterfuck for a little bit. Eric, don't get it twisted. Eric, by summertime, I think he's going to remove that stuff, because I think he's going to want those things in the park back so people can come back. I think he's going to want all the restaurants and new restaurants to open up.
You got to put money back into and another thing before I forget about, sorry, Jeff.
Yeah.
May. Got to pay your motherfucking student loans, people. Back in effect.
When that bad boy hit, I'm gonna be hungry down in the basement somewhere talking about the bombs gonna finish, because
And
they
then
burning.
woes is me, boy.
You all get, a lot of you people are getting tax returns back. Pay attention. Save some of that shit. They're gonna be like, look, we just gave you back $4,000. What you mean you can't start giving us back $300 monthly or whatever it is? Did you blow it all? Don't get it twisted. Biden said he wasn't coming to save it. There ain't nobody talking about that. And when student loans get hit back, that means it tax on everybody's credit. You now have an instant, whatever it is, debt that is back on your credit. So if you were at 700, you may go down to 630.
Well, I think a lot of them, it's been there.
No, they took it off. They paused it. and
No,
they
it's
took it
paused.
off.
Mine's
Yeah.
is there. It's paused.
Yeah.
But it's been there already. It's on it, so it doesn't affect it. Whatever effect it was, dead already. That's how mine's is. I'm hoping everyone else is the same.
Oh, maybe.
So it's not like it's a new
knock on
It's a
wood.
new charge because when I look at it's already there.
Oh no, knock on wood. I hope not. But
Yeah.
then the payments and the stuff credit.
Because
Let's
I
see.
still get there because they do the monthly alerts.
Of course.
It lets me know well, that's the only thing I owe. That comes up and let me know it's there.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing about no payments made or nothing because, obviously the hold.
So look, all I'm saying is be mindful with this, people. It's going to be another bunch of money that if you couldn't pay your car, you couldn't pay your rent, you couldn't pay your PSE&G or Con Ed, how you going to pay them?
And they can
At
shut
least
you off in the
100.
summer. They can shut you off in the summertime. Not winter, but they can shut you off.
That's all I'm saying, folks. That's all I'm saying. Whatever it is, it's going to come down to how much can our American people pay. A lot of us are underemployed for the areas we live in without ownership of something. You have multiple households in one household units. Let me explain what multiple households is because a lot of us understand, but we don't ever heard it being called that term. That's when you live with grandma, grandpa, you, your mama, your daddy, your sister, your Uncle Bobby, and Aunt Tia come in and use the address. That's 3 households. Aunt Tia, Uncle Bobby, you, and grandma. That's about 4 different generations sitting in that house. That should technically, grandma, grandpa, if that be their house, you and your family have your own, you get what I'm saying, own house. Uncle Bobby got his own house, and Aunt Tia got her own house. But that shit don't work like that. Now, a lot of us grew up that way, myself included. I ain't here to say no different or something against it, but the American way and what they counting for, that ain't what it is. Everybody together can afford to pay for something, but everybody in there, when you ain't got a pot to piss in, literally, or you ain't got no room to put your dick in a girl somewhere, I can't help you. Can't help you, player. That's it. So be mindful about what's going on. They want to overcrowd these areas and then build out again.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nowhere they trying to build out to. These red states done stop that shit. They rather keep trees than fucking put up some goddamn apartment housings or goddamn no project buildings. They will literally burn them shits.
No more.
I'm so be mindful, folks. I don't know who's doing what. I don't care what side you on, red or blue, whatever. This shit is going to be wild.
Facts.
Wild. It's gonna be wild, and we're just entering to it. And don't forget, inflation is through the roof. Through the roof. Food is.
Nigga.
They gotta bring down SNAP. I'm sorry, folks. They gotta bring down SNAP. One of these red states is gonna sit there. Yo, who paying for this shit? I mean, I don't care. I don't care if 10 pennies out of my paycheck go to it. What you saying is my 10 pennies could go to something? And if we really get involved with this war in Ukraine, we got soldiers on the ground there already. Ain't nothing pop off. We ain't dropped no drone missiles or nothing yet from us. From us. But if we do, then the price change. Because now we got to pay for the war structure. I'm going to get up on out of here. January 6th, niggas, please go to the thing. Go ahead now to get the Capitol. Please.
You young niggas, boy. I told my niggas they were joking about the draft and all kinds of other shit. I know a couple people that just started the military shit. You joined the wrong time. Wrong time.
They thought we was at peace. They was at peace. They forgot we had to go fight everybody else's battle. And I feel like Whoopi. This is white people fight white people. Why we there? Why we there? What race is this? God bless y'all, though, man. God bless y'all. Ukraine. War is not cool for anybody. And, you know, Putin got nukes.
Just the fuck.
But a lot of other people, I don't think he want to throw up nukes because a lot of other people got nukes, too. So, let's see.
Let's see.
Yeah, good luck, man. Pay your bills.
You ain't lying, boy. Pay that shit, boy. Laying up in these what do you call those shits? Those shelters and shit. When you don't have to, it's not what's up, man. I understand if you ain't got no other choice, but
Get out of the cold, but you got to put together a plan for success. At least a little one. At least a little one.
there you go.
A little one. I can't help you if you can't help yourself in the littlest.
We're gonna help y'all budget next week, y'all. We're gonna tell you how much you can afford to rent, how to, because I tell people all the time, man, flour, you can cook a lot of fucking different things with flour, baby. Yeah, flour, some cornmeal. You know what I mean?
I had an argument. It's funny. I wanted to say this with my niece. She does like a part-time culinary in the high school thing.
Okay.
Teacher's white, younger white person. Are we gonna teach her how to make gumbo? And
No.
I sat there and said, yeah, well. I said, why they teach you to make poor people's food? Nothing to
Damn,
get.
nigga.
No, but nigga, did that not come from poor boys, gum, all that seafood? Who had that first?
Put all that shit in one
Put
pot.
pot, nigga.
Feed a whole bunch
Nigga,
of
that's
people.
all I'm saying. Right.
Niggas with
It's great. It's good.
Niggas
Don't get
ain't
it
want no.
twisted.
See, people don't understand. Like people
Don't
didn't want
get
to
it
fuck with.
twisted.
They didn't want to fuck with the pig back in the days.
No.
Until Grandma Mabel put a little salt pepper with that motherfucker, and Master said, "Oh shit, hold on." Next thing you know,
Cooked
you
every
got
motherfucking
Emerald talking
piece.
about bam, $100 million restaurant and shit.
Pig ears are delicious, nigga. Like, nigga,
Yeah, you know what? That's one of the craziest delicacies.
Yes.
Fried pig ears.
Yes.
Nigga, I'm
Yes.
talking about more money than a fucking
You
steak,
ain't got
nigga.
to tell me, nigga. I used to eat the snout when they cooked the whole pig, and I would cut that
Yeah.
shit up with the gristle. You ain't got to tell me. And pig's feet I eat. You got about this much meat on that motherfucker.
you ain't lying.
In between the hoof, you was sitting there. I done lost about 3 teeth on that bitch. That's what I'm saying. I get it. But my point to it was just like, yo, I was like, because the teacher was telling them, it's a, this is a staple of Louisiana. Yes, this is an upscale meal. And I'm not saying it's not. Yeah. Every chef, they'll put their twist on it, little lemons, whatever the fuck. Whatever you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, nigga, that shit was, I said, Grandma had a recipe for that. I was like, literally, I was like, yo. I said, your aunt can teach you this one. And probably taste better. I'm just saying, and all this stuff. But I'm like, I thought you was gonna be in there learning some foo French shit, whatever. You know what I mean? I was like, nigga, don't hit me with the garbage shit. It was like, this is shit we learn over here. Like,
You gonna
whatever.
make me go home and watch Ratatouille.
Yeah, exactly. But whatever it is. But I just say it. I was just like, yo, pay attention. You can do a lot of stuff with food. Budget your shit, man. Budget your
We're
shit.
gonna help y'all out next week. All right, so this week, anything else? Or we?
Nah, I'm good.
I just want to get into. I'm gonna make this as quick as possible. I'm not reading all this shit, but you already know that, man. Financesonline.com/single parents. I'm gonna break it down as much as I can for you. Going over the world first, and then breaking it down into the household, man versus woman type situation. Now this one was taken between 2019 2020. And I tell you, don't look for any statistics between 2020 2021 because you ain't gonna find them.
Yeah, all them shits are skewed, nigga.
Yeah,
all them shits are
skewed
skewed.
like a motherfucker, bro.
It
Tell
don't
you,
even count. Everybody was home.
at all. So globally, it's telling you on an average, 6.8 children around the world under the age of 18 live in a single parent threshold. All right. The second highest country with most kids with a single parent is United States with 23%. Second, you have UK with 21%, Russia with 18%. Son Toing, I'm jacking anything, but I apologize. 19%, and let's see, going here, the lowest. You go into this high religious state. We're talking about Afghanistan, Turkey, which is 1 to 2%, because they put motherfuckers to death for shit like that.
Yeah.
They really do.
That's probably why they single. They probably killed, we killed the husband, so, she just single.
So just to get to the point where, as far as United States is 23% of the population is a single mother, single
parent.
father, compared to 1% in Turkey and Russia. Turkey and Afghanistan. So maybe something there with the whole religion thing, how it's looked upon.
Possible.
A lot of things that are frowned upon and things aren't frowned upon.
Okay.
Just to put it out there. All right, single parent statistics in the United States. Over 18.5 million children in the United States live in a single mother or father Again, this is from the Census Bureau. Came out 2020. Approximately 5 million kids in U.S. age 5 years or under live in a single-parent household. All right. Almost 1/4 of the 23% of the children under the age of 18 is the one parent, which is not an adult. Let's get see here. I'm trying to breeze through as much as I can because it's a lot, but I'm just trying to give it to you guys as best as I can. Let's see here by genre. All right, so 18 million children below the age of 18 live in a single-parent household, while 15 million live in a two-parent household in the United States. All right, so it's about 4 million difference.
Okay.
All right. There's also 15.3 million children in the United States who live with a single mother, while there are only 2.3 million children who live with a single father. Now, again, the way the United States works, or like you pretty much got to prove that your mother is like a crackhead, prostitute, and do crystal meth in order to get custody from the mother. I mean, you know, for a father to get custody. And unfortunately, there's a lot of fathers who don't want the responsibility anyway. It just is what it is.
Stereotypically, they always give the kids to the mother because they think it's a woman's role to take care of the children. Sorry, unfortunately. Yeah.
There are 14.84 million families with a single mother in the United States. Other than that makes absolutely no sense. All right, so women aged 35 to 39 in the United States have a 9% likelihood of living as a single parent, in contrast to men in the United States with only 2% of the likelihood of being a single parent. So again, they're saying between those ages, and I understand that's low because again, by that time or that age, you would have went through your finding phase, trying to find yourself, or even if you got pregnant at a young age, 16, 17, 18 or whatever, by 35, you pretty much raise your youngest sibling, which is your child. So, you got your head on your shoulders right about then. All right, so I'm going to break it down into race. There are 6.6 million white, non-Hispanic families with single mothers in the United States. And I want you guys to really concentrate on that number. And how I know Jeff can really help me out with this one. The way government assistance is looked upon, the government wants you to believe that it's flooded with us.
Yeah.
With brown. And we ain't nowhere near it. People. White people run the system, but they're not talked about. But when you think about government assistance, all this other stuff, you're looked upon to think of black and brown individuals, and it's not the truth by any sense of word. There are 3.29 million families, Hispanic families with mothers in the United States. There are 4.14 African American families and a single mother here. Now look at those numbers, y'all. We went from 6.6, 2.3, all right, and now we're 4.1. So we're not up there. We're not there, all right. There are 145,000 Asian families with a single mother in the United States. Let me see if I can find some more stuff here before I get to the real fun part.
How many Latin people were there?
Let me go back here. So according to this, it's saying there are 3.29 million Hispanic families with single mothers in the United States. It's the white, black, and then the Hispanic, and then it goes Asian.
Gotcha.
And they said there are 3.3 non-Hispanic single fathers in the United States. There are 1.1 million Hispanic families that are headed by the single fathers.
Single father.
There are only 1.05 million African American. I hate that word. Sorry. African American families that are run by fathers, and 375,000 Asian families that are run by the fathers. So again, Even the black, like we were third. All right. A share of white unparented mothers working in the United States fell from 78.8% in September to 73% between 2019 to 2020.
Okay.
And the black single mother dropped from 72.5 to 62. And a Hispanic fell from 76.5 to 65.8. Where's my juicy shit? There we go. So, around the world, single mothers, single fathers, everybody's doing their thing. But obviously, like we talked about earlier, it's easier for a mother to gain custody of the child because there's, you gave birth and the system is set up for the mothers.
Right.
All right, so snapshot of, I would say, mother families, all right?
Okay.
So there are 10.7, I'll just round it off, 10.7 million single-parent families, all right? 80% of that 10.7 are headed by single mothers. 31% of those are poor. 29%. Oh, man. All right, so demographics. 50.4% never marry. 29.5% are divorced. And 20.2% either separate or are widowed.
Okay.
All right, employment. 29%. Let's see, here it goes. Talking about the mothers again. All right, so 29% are again, they didn't gain job the entire year. 22.4 are unemployed or getting unemployment benefits. All right, so income. A median income for a single mother is about $48,000.
That's low.
Medium income for a married couple is over $100,000.
Yeah.
So is what we always talk about here as far as being able or have the two-income household, I always say, is undefeated. When you have two people who are on the same page, proper budgeting, the multiple bank accounts, one bank account for the bills, another bank account for savings. You guys like to go on trips. You guys want to do things. And then another bank account for your own personal use, which means you can do whatever it is you want to do with it. It's your money. But you can't go back to the source to get more money out of it. So it pretty much more than doubled from the 48 to actually $102,308.
Right. This country is set up to benefit two people households.
You ain't lying.
I don't care if a man marrying a man, a girl marrying a girl, two partners, partnerships in business, whatever. It is not really stable for a single person with nothing to declare. We will pay the most, like me. I pay the most. I can't get no tax numbers for some kid. I'm trying to claim my nieces. Let me get the last four, please.
Go straight to the hood, yo.
Something.
Who got kids for sale?
Exactly. You can't claim all 9. Let me get 2. All I'm saying is, the country is set up this way, and you're right. Even if you don't file taxes together, if they're budgeting and planning and joining teams, you can get ahead. If we're both making over $100,000, New Jersey is expensive. New Jersey's average, the state has it, income as $106,000. That's New Jersey, homie. But think about it. On average, if you're making that money, now you can go get one of those $700,000 homes. Clean your credit up, do something.
It's undefeated, man.
And save some money. Budget yourself. The country is set up to run like that. It praises marriage. Why do you think the yeah, and this is nothing against anybody in the LGBTQ plus homosexuality. Why do you think they were fighting for marriage equality rights so they can file taxes on each other? It wasn't for the and to get part of the hospital benefits. That was a piece of it, but I could file benefits for tax purposes instead of me just being a single guy.
Preach.
Anyway, go
Preach.
back to your story.
Preach.
Go back to your story.
All right, so to get more into the income, it says out of more than 10 million low-income families that we talked about, the 10 million number we threw out there, 39% were headed by single working mothers, or about 4.1 million. All right? Now, this is extremely more higher when it comes to African Americans, which is 65% compared to whites, 36%. Almost fucking double that shit, man.
Why you said whites were 36%?
Whites are 36, blacks is 65. Like, that's scary. Only 1/3 of single mothers receive child support. So for you motherfuckers out there who want to say, oh, no, only 1/3 of them are. Only 1/3
Yeah.
of mothers receive child support on the average. Mothers receive about $286 a month. That's cable bill. Your phone bill. The way shit is built down.
The way now. Yeah, the
Yeah,
way
the
that
way
shit
shit's
going.
built now. Nigga. Well, when T-Mobile started that, you could get the phone now and pay for it. They were fucking geniuses when they did that shit.
Oh, nigga. That shit felt
Take
like...
this $1,400 phone.
Nigga, that shit felt like a trap to me. I'm like, what? Nah, that don't even matter. 7-year plan. What kind of shit is this?
Facts, nigga. Facts. Facts.
Oh, man. That was working.
All right, so poverty. Single mothers are more likely to be poor than married couples. The poverty rate for single families in 2019 to 2020 are 31%, nearly 5 times more than the rate at 5% for married couple families. Among children living in only mother, 33.6 lived in poverty. It's a lot, nigga. And contents to only 7.9 of the children in a 2-family income house.
You got to remember, I just stated.
Facts, nigga.
And your data that you're reading is saying it's comparing a single parent
Yep.
to a 2-parent.
Yep.
You have 2 incomes
With 33.6
taking care of 3 or 4 people, whatever
Right,
it is,
right.
instead of 1 income taking care of 2 or 3 people. It's a huge difference.
You hear that drop from 33.6 to 7.9, nigga? Let's go even further. Black families were poor, 35%. Native families were poor, 43%. White families were poor, 26%. Families headed by women colored fared worse. Nearly 2 to 5, 35% of black females headed families lived in poverty. Hispanics were 34, white was 26, and Asians was 22.
Wait, say that. What was that stat for?
All right, this stat was families headed by women of colored fared worse. So just women, single mothers.
Yeah.
All right, nearly 2 to 5. So 35% of black females headed
Head of households. Gotcha.
families were poverty. 34 Hispanic and 26 white and 22 Asian.
Okay. So usually it's a woman-led field.
Right.
Usually it's a woman-led field. More than dads.
Hardship. Almost 1/3, 28.7% of single mother families were food insecure. I love how they put that. Food insecure.
They be using all these motherfucking thesaurus words.
You
Nigga.
ain't lying, nigga.
Hey, hold up.
Get.
Let's stop. Pause right quick on this shit. Language is something you should have your kids master. I don't give a fuck if they don't go to college. I don't give a fuck if they whatever. The use of words will change your life in so much things.
Facts.
The way people perceive you, the way you can get your point across, what rooms you can enter. And it's all about anytime if you've ever been in a courtroom, that's the language they're using.
Ooh.
There's a difference in what those words that the lawyers are using, and that's how we get tripped up. Nah, but I ain't be going. No, Your Honor. My client was never seen on Jefferson Street. Doesn't know how to where Jefferson Street is. I ain't be going on Jefferson. Two fucking distinguishable differences. I'm just saying, the language they put here, they are putting down those people nicely. What they say, food discouraged or food whatever. Look, food discouraged. Nigga, what's food discouraged, nigga? What the fuck? I don't scared of no fucking food. I'll cook a burger now. All I'm saying is, it's the terms, and it lets you know where you are. Because when you say that, that also means to the next person who understands those big words, those people are also on that other list you said who don't have that money.
Mm-hmm.
One income household.
Why you over here, boy? You don't belong over here.
You sure don't.
You driving a Accord in motherfucking Apple, what was it? Apple?
Yeah.
What was it? Apple Vine or Woodvine? Wherever where Mary J. Blige and them niggas live.
Oh, Alpine.
Alpine. Yeah, nigga, not driving that. Nigga, you better have a fucking delivery include on that motherfucking hood.
The help usually leaves by 7. It's 8:30. What are you doing here, buddy? What are you doing?
Pull you over, nigga.
Yeah. It's sad. It's just a way of distinguishing. This is where they get their data from all these different places. This data he's reading has been cross-compiled with the SNAP data. The census data to the SNAP data.
Yep.
Secret alert. That's why motherfuckers don't want to fill out the census. But I'm going to get the fuck up out of here, nigga. I don't know. That's another story. Be mindful to the language of the things because they're distinguishing you what they're putting you in here. Go ahead back to. I didn't mean to cut that there. I just think this shit is important.
You ain't
that
lying,
people
man.
knows.
You're not lying. Knowledge, man. All right, so I'm gonna go back. It says almost to 28.7 are single families or food insecure. About 1/9, that's 11.7%, use food pantries. 1/3 spend more than half of their income on housing. And this is, and I need you to understand that for next week's show. We need you to understand what you can afford for mortgage and rent is whatever you make in a 2-week period. That's what you can afford. If you ever need to know what you can or can't afford in rent, whatever you make in a 2-week period, that's what you could afford in mortgage. That's what you can afford in rent. But we're going to go into details again next week. It says lived in poverty, which is generally considered the threshold of severe housing cost burden. Wording, nigga. Get it.
You just said what we talked about in the beginning of the shit. You living beyond your means. You can't afford to live in these areas. You can't afford $2,500 plus rent.
Make
you
it
probably
$12
can't
an
afford.
hour, nigga.
You probably can't afford $2,000 or $1,800 rent. Don't get this shit twisted. This is no stab at anybody. This is not to make fun. This is redlining again. And now you know it's redlining, and they just using these big, pretty term words that Truth is reading here. Look at these broke-ass niggas in Spix. We raised the rent, put these motherfuckers on Snap, and it's only one income to the whole shit. All I'm saying, be mindful of it. You literally just touched on they can't afford it because they're being priced out. I'm literally just breaking down. They can't afford, so they know the rent is high. The main bill that you should pay to keep a shelter over your head, over your children's
More
head.
than half of what you bring in is going towards that.
And the thing is, you're carrying around children, which makes it worse. It's not that you're a single adult where you can just scoodle by yourself, maybe shack up with somebody, shack up with some other body, and keep bouncing back and forth, making money. You understand what I'm saying? Kind of live off grid bullshit. You understand what I'm saying? There's people who live like that. Well, we all know every minority. I don't give a fuck what you are, Asian, black, Hispanic, Indian. You all know a motherfucker like that, an uncle or auntie or whatever. That's just, that nigga been traveling here to Mississippi all the time. Yeah. Everybody, I'm just saying, it's mind-blowing. You are reading the official data, and when you know who's in that room,
Yep.
66% white,
Yep.
who ain't never had to deal with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Making these decisions on y'all.
There you go. So it pretty much also goes to say that, being that line, you're headed towards homelessness.
Ding, 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 ding.
Among all homeless families nationwide, about 2/3, 60%, were headed by single women, with children, respectively, 21% of a total of homeless population. Nearly half were black at 49%. Just want to take this a little further.
Go ahead, man.
It's not just about the nigga walking out on you or this and that. You lay down with that person. And it kills me how people would love to put the burden on someone else. Other than him taking it, you gave it to him. If we would take it, we had this conversation with someone before, the difference nowadays with how there were more couple situations than now they're fuckable situations, where you had to court a woman for 2-3 months. And the only way you can get some essence of that vagina was to marry her. There was no shacking up. You weren't just sleeping and eventually seeing if you guys can work out or not. You couldn't get it until you got married. But you took that time, moms and dads, you courted at this house, this dinner table. After a while, they allowed you to go out. But you ain't have the issues we're having now. I know different times, different situations. You should be able to do what you want to do. But the kids didn't ask to be in this situation. You brought them into it. Yeah. Just put it out there.
Birth control, my G.
Just put it out there.
Ladies, y'all got about 10, 15 different ways of birth controlling it up.
Now, I'm going to stop at this portion because the plug over there is going to stamp and highlight everything of this portion of it. And this portion of the statistics are welfare, food stamps, receipts.
Oh, Lord, nigga.
A major percent of SNAP, SNAP, households with children were single mother households. All right? Only a percentage received cash benefits from TANF.
So that's TANF. So that's all right. So let's break it down.
As I said, I will be pausing.
Everything you're saying that, and we've been saying is they use acronyms because these are huge phrases. So SNAP is a supplementary nutrition assistance program. I believe so, if I'm correct.
I don't know why they put that there. I think that was a misprint.
Okay.
Roughly 2/3 receive free or reduced meals.
Mm-hmm.
Only 8.5% of the children live in single mother families receive TANF.
Mm-hmm. So, in a nutshell, those numbers kind of reveal that some of those people, that a lot of them get snapped, more get snapped than TANF. We're just talking about families here. They more gets because TANF, you can go get a job, but this is where we go back to being underemployed, because if you're making $15 an hour, I don't know how in the goddamn world you're gonna afford to take care of two, because you and one child, or however many child you have, 2, 3, whatever people. That shit don't add up. You tell me if I'm wrong. You tell me if I'm, you know what I mean? I can't do it at $35 an hour. So I just want y'all to know, that's what I mean underemployed. But that's more than what they would give you in TANF. If you make more than what you would get monthly in TANF, because you have a job, part-time, full-time, whatever it is, then yes, you would just only qualify for that, for SNAP. So that's why the numbers are skewed that high. You go from 60-something% down to, single digits percentage. So I can't knock anybody for working, but it's extremely hard, especially depending what area you live in.
Oh,
now,
wow, did you say that? Because I just, oh, Lord. See what I'm saying? Didn't I say this nigga ain't playing? It breaks down just 3 of the highest places to live in to be a single parent. That's Massachusetts, where 69.1% of your income goes towards your child. California, 56.3%, and Maine, 55.9%.
Those some hard states. Those some hard states. There's a lot of things. So we all hear about the black people down there in California complain child support. Massachusetts, very racist up there. But you have a lot of poor white people. You have a lot of poor this people who are still on that. You know, they make up a good part of that percentage of the 30 whatever percent that it is. And they hit them heavy in the pockets. But you had a lot of rich white people that was going down to them poor towns and skeetily deedly do. You get what I'm saying? And you know, little Billy's daddy is the owner of Kellogg and whatever the hell it was.
Fucking your secretaries and shit.
Exactly. And not talking about, I ain't leaving my wife. You must be crazy. You was only here for Thursday. So on and so forth. The same with Maine. So they hit you. They hit you hard in those pockets. Don't play.
And this statistics is really, I want to say, to the newer, younger generation. I'm looking at all these social medias and I'm looking at all these proud 18, 19-year-old single mothers living at home, nigga.
All right, so we have all the data in the world on this shit. We had it for years. We had it since the fucking 70s. And more people that come in, new cultures, it changes. You got to remember what the new culture is. The culture is always changing. But the world's culture, overall, I don't care where you're at, is to keep women at home still, stereotypically. Men go out and work, go hunt, go get food. I don't care. Sell 2 drugs, steal a car, and then go to work at Foot Locker. And then come, you know what I'm saying? It's like you got to bust your butt. And then we always put women. Great. I have no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? But they skew the numbers like this when you put that in the real world. So if it's a dad getting hit, he's legally viable to all these options as a single person because he's a single parent, but the world is working against him to give to people for poor or help these things. They don't just hand the money out directly. They don't do what they did and everybody got 2 G's. That was a once in a blue, oh shit, that shit came from the IRS? Holy shit. They don't never get involved. They give it to the state. The state allocated. The state allocates it to existing programs that have these stereotypical views, and they look out for women more than men, usually. In a nutshell.
No,
we're not. No. But in a nutshell, we're not going to go in the specifics. This program is this. So it becomes very hard, and all these things becomes very skewed because we always look out for women to stay home. Most of the time, we think a woman either go to work or be home pregnant. So when a girl hits 18 or 21 or whatever, and, you know, she having a baby, okay, we all happy to a point. Can she take care of the baby? Is the shit that comes out of my mouth? Or are they in a 2-parent household? I don't care who the other parent is, a girl, guy, whatever the hell they want to be. Something where we know, because if they go to the court and get married, they're going to be able to get tax breaks, benefits immediately. That's all I'm saying. They're going to end up getting money back after I done paid twice. So in which point can they be financially stable? Because we know the rent is up, already marked in there. Depending on what town, wherever the hell you live in, you're poor because you can't afford the one main thing, shelter. You can't afford the one. So that's why I asked. That's why you see a lot of multi-generational households. We mama living, baby still living at home with grandma and mama. It's common to that point. They used to blast us all the time in the 70s and 80s. I think we the only stock footage they got of just dark people. I don't know what they were, but they were just dark people. I ain't never seen nothing about whites, light-skinned Hispanics, Asians, Indians, none of them. You get what I'm saying? But now as they become Americanized, their numbers are growing because they want that same freedom. I got to go out. I want to live in America. Everything nice in America. Yeah, and they're going to learn those fucking ways too. Girl, I let them all skeet in me. I don't know what's wrong. I done missed it. I don't believe in abortions. Wonderful. Cool. Good for you. Now, who's paying for that baby? Because we don't know if it's Haresh or Johnny's. So who the fuck is paying for this shit? I don't know. You understand what I'm saying? And a lot of them still don't do it because of their culture background. They get harassed so much by their culture, they won't do it. That's a lot of Asians.
The great thing about like the culture and upbringing, where we talked about as far as 1%, you understand that? You have 1% of the population that are single mothers, single fathers.
Yeah.
Not just like single mothers, single fathers. That is proper upbringing. And I'm not saying that love lasts forever or people grow apart, but you still have to find someone that has the decency to still take care of their child when you're not there, even though they're not there.
That's what you're being taught. What are you being taught? You understand what I'm saying? If you're teaching or allowing your kids to constantly do this behavior and no one's correcting them
At all. It's
and
repeating.
it sounds bad to say that correct. I understand what it can be. I understand what it can go, but that's not my first call. You know, I totally understand it. I don't got no loose kids because I didn't want to have, that's my baby mama. I'd rather have a wife. I'd rather have come home to a family. So I'm going to visit my other baby in Georgia. And then when I fly back to Cali, I got to drop off some child support over there. And then I'm going to come home over there.
And it's not just on the women, it's men too.
This is not a
on the
one.
women,
Look,
it's
this
just
is
on the
not a
men too.
one-sided thing.
At all.
This is not a one-sided thing. Do not get it twisted. Just as much as the culture generally breeds, or we leave women to give more leeway, we breed on men to do the fucking opposite. Hunt, gather, pass their seed, leave, whatever. It's a both-sided, a double-sided argument. But when it becomes to the culture, now, everything you just read, excuse me, I had an argument. I don't want to say argument, maybe a discussion, because we weren't going back and forth. I said, that's the American way. The more of the Asians that come here, they're going to learn to do that. That number's going to go up. In 10 years, I don't know what that number will be. You see what I'm saying? I don't know if the numbers will switch, swap, and flippity flop. You also have to remember that the first set of statistics, maybe second set of statistics you read, when the woman hits 30 to that 39 period,
39, yep.
and whether they have kids or not, you find a lot of people in there just pumping out kids because of their last age.
Yeah, that biological clock is ticking.
I ain't care who skeeted in me. You know, at that point, I wanted to have something. Usually, they are more financially stable.
Yep.
They have a job.
Up. Yeah, you grew the fuck up.
Right. They're not on that SNAP TANF list.
No.
Usually. Not saying it doesn't happen, but usually, if you made it through life that far, that means you got enough little bread to take care of you and your seed. You understand? But that's a big difference than LaTanya coming out of high school, getting knocked up, not pushing off college to them because she had the baby, everything, trying to live life and all this other stuff, and it becomes extremely hard. You have multi-generational households. But then, even if we're going to live that way, that's cool. I'll fuck with multi-generational households and keep doing it. We're not teaching each other about proper ownership, budgeting, ownership. If each multi-generational household stayed together, and let's say I had 3, you had mama, you had grandmama, you had mama, and you had a granddaughter. They're having their kids, but they all making money. How come they don't buy multiple properties?
I'm glad you mentioned that.
That's
I'm
another.
glad you
We can
mentioned
get to
that.
that next week or whatever. But I'm just saying.
I'm
You
glad.
understand what I'm saying? Then
I-
mama buy next door, and then whatever. I'm out of it. But
I work with a legitimate millionaire, not play millionaire.
yeah,
This is a man who owns a very big house, and his kids live with him. And they don't move out the house till they get married and move into a house. They don't move into an apartment. They marry and then move into a house, and none of them have kids. And I was talking to him, and he changed my way of thinking on certain things. And he was saying, when you set your kids out there, you set them up properly. So while they're at the house, they're working and they're stacking money. They're not blowing it. They're not, 7 S-Class, 760 in it. Now they're driving decent cars, but that money is going to the bank or towards property, proper savings, proper investment. So when they do find the one, they get married, they move into a house. This is a legitimate millionaire still working.
You're right, but look, that goes again towards culture. What do we teach our multi-generational households? Don't mind grown folks'
Stand up
business.
grown folks' business, yeah.
Don't worry about that. So now you get people who don't know how to pay PSE&G bill.
Nope.
Simple shit to me. Worry about starting up funds or bank accounts.
Which you shouldn't
Take
do.
over when grandmama
Yeah.
die. Shit like shit like that.
No checking accounts.
You have people who are mostly taking space, for lack of a better term. You understand? You're just keeping a roof over their head. They may be working enough to support them, but not enough to support them to go out on their own, whether with or with someone, with or without someone.
Stack that money.
But that's my point. How many people in multi-generational households that we both know have? They live there, but he got a baby out there somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? That he ain't paying for. That he on that list.
You see him every other week.
Mother on that list. You see him every other week at the bar. You see what I'm saying? Instead of teaching that one, grandma didn't teach them that much. Look, black people lost a lot of land that way. They lost a lot of land. We used to own a lot of shit back in the 20s, and it was possible. And shit that goes for millions of dollars today.
Pookie and Ray Ray got broke, sold it for pennies on a dollar.
Didn't know how to pay fucking taxes.
Nope.
And shit. Again, so it goes back to linguistics. It goes back to everything kind of domino effects on each other. But imagine, we wouldn't even give a fuck about multi-generational households because we would have owned the fucking block. Legitimately. We would have owned the fucking block. You get what I'm saying? Put me on the SNAP list. No problem. I'm just paying taxes, nigga. We splitting $25,000 up between the fucking three of us. Or four or five of us.
Bank account on swole. You
good.
hear me? Bank account on swole.
Again,
Now, you don't think his daughter out there being whatever, but she ain't bringing no baby home.
Of course not.
She having
Of
fun,
course not.
whatever, but she ain't
getting
bringing no
ran
baby
through
home.
like every rest of them and enjoying it, and then coming home, gonna find the right man. Gonna find the right man.
The right one.
She's gonna find the right man.
Then it's different.
Yep. And they're gonna go ahead. They're gonna go purchase a house. Go straight out of that house from there.
To another house.
That's it.
It continue.
I don't know, man.
Tune in next week, y'all. We're gonna teach y'all how to properly balance, how to budget, and I will say this from my godmother, who was a fucking millionaire. They had their one night to eat out,
Budget.
but the other 6 days a week we were eating in this motherfucking house. All right, y'all. We see y'all next week. Last words, anything?
Man, pay your bills, bro. I don't want to see nothing. Pay y'all bills, bro.
Next week, y'all. Peace.